Nurturing the beauty of elderhood. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. Franz Kafka. Nurturing and encouraging the growth of our later years is not something we typically think about. The words beautiful aging may even seem like an oxymoron. But elderhood can be a marvelous time of life, despite physical changes and limitations. We have the choice to change society by changing our own perceptions, to see the beauty, gifts, and benefits of this age, and to accept the grace of aging. A few winters ago, I went to the DMV with my daughter, Leandra, to get her car inspected. I was sitting in the passenger seat. The inspector asked my daughter to roll down the window. He glanced over to me and he said to my daughter, well, I usually ask people to keep the window down, but it's cold and I see you have an elderly in your car. Elderly? Elderly? What are you kidding? You're talking about me? I was insulted, incensed. Then a couple of months ago, I was walking the dog slowly in my neighborhood with my grayish hair, the leash in one hand and a cane in the other. As a yellow school bus passed, a young boy, maybe 9 years old, stuck out his head from the window and yelled, "Hey, old lady." Well, I looked around to see who he was talking to. And of course, I was the only one on the street. But this time, I thought it was funny. So how did I get from feeling insulted to being amused? It was a journey that started with words. Both words, elderly and old lady, have a negative connotation. The DMV inspector and young boy had different intents, though. The inspector was being kind, while the boy wanted to insult. There's a plethora of words, I love that word, there's a plethora of words that refer to people of an advanced age. Weak, sick, elderly, geezer, ancient, blue hair, old lady, old man, geriatric, frail, old fogey, over the hill, long in the tooth, little old lady, grumpy old man, senior citizen, and I'm sure you've heard some other ones. How do we feel being addressed as one of these? Now, how do you feel if someone called you an elder? Elder and elderhood are words that encompass the wisdom that we have acquired and the respect and reverence that we have earned and deserve. There's beauty and grace to becoming older. One way to nurture this beauty is to not give in to the stereotypes. Change the vocabulary we use to refer to ourselves and other elders, and we change our mindset from negative to positive. How cultures view and treat their elderly is closely linked to their most prized values and traits. Western culture tends to be youth-centric, emphasizing attributes like individualism and independence. This relates back to the Protestant work ethic, which ties an individual's value to his or her ability to work, something that diminishes in old age. In contrast, in countries like Korea and China, you can expect to be taken care of by your family. In America and England, not so much. Not only do Koreans respect the elderly, but they also celebrate them. For Koreans, the 60th and 70th birthdays are prominent life events which are commemorated with large-scale family parties and feasts. A 2015 elderly rights law passed in China warns adult children to never neglect or snub elderly people, and mandates that they visit their elderly parents often, regardless of how far away they live. And the law includes enforcement mechanisms too. Offspring who fail to make such trips to mom and dad face potential punishment, ranging from fines to jail time. Eastern cultures like China's adhere to the Confucian tradition of filial piety. Confucian, not Confucian, not confusion. The Confucian tradition of filial piety, which prioritizes the family unit and values elders with the utmost respect. Mediterranean and Latin cultures place similar priority on the family. In both cultures, it's commonplace for multiple generations to live under one roof, sharing a home and all the duties that come with maintaining one. In this living arrangement, the oldest generation is often relied on to assist with caring for the youngest, while the younger adults go to work. The grandparents remain thoroughly integrated well into their last days, as opposed to the United States, where many grandparents get warehoused in assisted living or independent living facilities. Native American elders are revered individuals who provide wisdom and leadership for their tribes by exuding grace, wisdom, and gentleness in their daily words and actions. Elders are the heartbeat of the tribe. Their age and wisdom allow them to perceive clearly from a cultural perspective and understand deep truths about God and nature. It is of utmost importance that elders be treated with respect and reverence. In Native communities, we can see the younger generation getting elders their food at community gatherings or acquiring comfortable seats for them. When an elder speaks, an informed individual knows to listen. An elder's wisdom is invaluable as a tribe's prosperity and well-being. God often speaks through elders. As we see, ideas about aging are bound by society and culture, but the negative perceptions of aging in the US are not absolutes. Society can change. By the sheer force of our numbers, things will change. There will be more acceptance for real, average-looking older people, and we will see them on TV. What is our part in changing society? We need to work on changing our own perceptions, even when we're feeling the negative physical effects of aging. It's time to drop the doom and gloom of getting older and be grateful for the gift that it is. In 2016, the World Health Assembly developed a global campaign to combat ageism. Quote, like sexism and racism, changing social norms is possible. It's time to stop defining people by their age. It will result in more prosperous, equitable, and healthier societies, end quote. The author, Louise DeSalvo, in her book, Moving, opens her book telling us that when she and her husband moved for the first time in more than 30 years, the move unleashed a storm of emotions. We can experience a profound sense of loss when we move. The new house and neighborhood, our daily routines are all different and unfamiliar. Moving into old age is very much like moving into a new house. Our lives are different. Our bodies and what we can do in them are different. We have aches, pains, and physical limitations that we had never had before. These physical changes of aging can be limiting and scary, but they don't have to define us. My birthday was a couple of months ago, and I did not turn 25. A few days before my birthday, I had fallen backwards in my garden and hit my head. 2 days before that, I had my second booster, a necessity for the elderly. Well, I have to tell you, I was feeling old. Everything hurt. It's difficult to see beauty when you're in pain, but the diminishments of old age school us in the art of humility and self-acceptance. I had to remind myself to be grateful that I was still alive, with just a mild concussion, some black and blue marks, but no broken bones. And that despite my pain, there are still many gifts that come with getting older. My father used to say, pain is good. If you're in pain, you know you're still alive. But the benefits of getting older outweigh the limitations. First, there's the obvious. We're getting older. Kathy O'Neill Collins says, aging seems to be the only available way to live a long life. Besides, getting older is better than the alternative. We're the lucky ones. Many people don't have the opportunity to age. With age comes gratitude and the knowledge that with every passing year, we are privileged to be alive. I'm grateful for other benefits of elderhood as well. For example, retirement, time that belongs to me, not to my boss or anyone else. Medicare, grandchildren, children who have become my friends. Hi, children. To have old friends. How many people can say, how many young people can say, she's been my friend for 50 years, 60 years. To want less, and to believe that wrinkles, gray hair, and a full figure should be worn with pride. We nurture the beauty of elderhood with gratitude. And what might we want to do with the benefits and gifts of our extended years? How do we move from being older to being an elder? Or as Reverend Sonia says, to move from aging to saging. Mickey in our congregation is my idol. She gets angry if anyone says she's old. She became a stand-up comedian several years ago. As you know, she is known as the Varicose Vixen. She was voted the funniest woman in New Jersey, and she was even accepted to go on America's Got Talent. She still travels to venues and performs. She also volunteers tirelessly in the politics of Teaneck. Al is 92. He's worked tirelessly on social justice issues his whole life. He reads or listens to tapes incessantly, has recently done a service for us, and is in the process of writing another one. Judy Manton says, elderhood is a time to use our talents and life experiences to volunteer, making us feel we are still contributive members of society. We stay involved in our communities, which provides growth experiences for us and contributes to our self-esteem. These endeavors provide structure and meaning, and at the same time benefit others. She visits immigrants in jail waiting for asylum. She tutors, and she's the local leader of Together Women Rise, collecting funds for women's organizations worldwide. We have many people in the congregation who have done outstanding volunteer work. I'm just mentioning a few, and feel free to let me know if I've left you out. There are people doing work in the congregation, the kind of work that I don't even know about, but the work that I do know is that Judy B has collected food for the food pantry, collected books for a children's library, brought needed items to the animal shelter. Susan has conducted food drives. Cassandra has worked at the soup kitchen. Brandy worked for the environment. Other people like myself, Michael, and Arlene, Donna Bono, Sidel have worked for the congregation. We've written postcards to support voting, done voter registration, and political and social justice work. As a congregation, we have fed the homeless, packed backpacks for children at the border, written holiday greeting cards for children, collected holiday toys, written postcards, and had educational lectures on social justice issues. We've done all this as elders, and I'm leaving out lots of things that other people in the congregation have done. Founder of the Gray Panthers, Margaret Kuhn, says being an elder of the tribe is awesome, demanding, and exhilarating. Elders have a purpose for living that's stronger than any physical disabilities that might slow us down. As the mind and spirit triumph over the body's infirmities, we work passionately to achieve our goals of social justice, environmental safety, and cross-cultural understanding. Ultimately, no matter what you believe in, the activities that you enjoy most, or that bring you closer to other people, or make a positive difference in the world, are the ones that you're likely to feel most, that are likely to feel most spiritual to you. For many people, spirituality, the force that animates the core of our inner being, becomes more important as we age. Some seniors see aging itself as a spiritual journey, paying close attention to the things that truly matter. Others turn to spiritual development to find more richness, meaning, inner strength, or comfort in their lives as they reflect on the past and think about what's still to come. A lot of people believe that spirituality and aging go hand in hand. Getting older tends to deepen our longing for the things that a spiritual life can provide. Things like a sense of comfort, meaning, purpose, and connection. As we approach elderhood, or as we are in elderhood, we may want to place more focus on our inner lives than on external expectations. Speak from our hearts more frequently. Put more effort into making meaningful connections with other people. Develop more patience and attentiveness. Seek more opportunities for silence and solitude. Change our perception of time by living more in the moment. Allow more time for reflection and sharing. Remember that almost everyone shares the same fundamental questions about the deep mysteries of life and will one day be where we are now. Sister Anne says, because we can't rely on our former attainments and our physical strength, we must search more deeply within ourselves for a fund of inner strength and wisdom. Increased reflection and contemplation in elderhood, as taught by the world's mystical traditions, are invaluable in helping us befriend our hidden depths. As our bodies change, elderhood offers us an opportunity to be more aware of our inner beauty and power. It enables us to understand what else we have to offer. We begin to see this power that lies within us and to nurture it. Research done on happiness has found that as we age, we become happier. We live with less resistance to what's not in alignment with the way we want it to be. We become formidable practitioners of acceptance. Surprisingly, it is the reality of death that makes our choices meaningful. It's the reality of sorrow that makes joy precious. The presence of sadness makes love and generosity an everyday miracle. We can live out our days being unconscious, or we can choose to claim the powerful gift of awareness. We can decide to wake up, to find meaning in discovering who we are and how we are connected. By freeing ourselves of distractions and sitting alone in silence and solitude, we can pay closer attention to our thoughts and feelings, which can provide clues to where our spiritual core may be hiding. Some of my best moments have been sitting on my back deck with my dog, watching the birds, rabbits, squirrels, and Mr. Groundhog that visit my backyard, and listening to the movement of the wind and the trees and the bushes. An afternoon in nature is a great healer. To nurture the beauty of elderhood, find the things you love to do and make time to do them. Volunteer, spend time in nature, meditate, share stories, play or listen to music, get a massage, dance, do yoga like Maria or Tai Chi, read, write like Susan, who has just published a novel and is almost finished with her second, make art like Cassandra, Judy Bellini, and myself, do crafts like Donna Bono, join a gym, visit relatives, or my favorite thing to do, absolutely nothing. Finally, for me, the most important thing in life is to keep a sense of humor. Even when life is tough, we need to keep our perspective and laugh. When I fell and hit the ground, luckily it was on the grass, I thought, well, that was a soft landing. I started laughing. But when I couldn't get up, I wasn't laughing so much. And I'd like to leave you with a few quotes about aging, so we never take ourselves too seriously. I'm sure you've heard a few of these. Old age isn't for wimps. And the next is thank you to Michael Myers-Schwann. There's three stages of old age: the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. And my father, who used to say often, whoever coffees the golden years. My friend, now I know why people retire, so they have time to go to all their doctors. There are three eras of life: childhood, adulthood, and you look good. When you're 20 and you drop something, you pick it up. When you're 80 and drop something, you decide you don't need it anymore. Speaking to her 93-year-old grandfather, a young woman asked, Grandpa, what were your good old days? Grandpa's reply, when I wasn't good and I wasn't old. You don't stop laughing when you grow old. You grow old when you stop laughing. George Bernard Shaw. By the time you're 80 years old, you've learned everything. You only have to remember it. George Burns. Old age is always 15 years older than I am. Oliver Wendell Holmes. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you was? Satchel Paige. People ask me what I'd most appreciate getting for my 87th birthday. I tell them a paternity suit. George Burns. At age 20, we worry about what others think of us. At age 40, we don't care what they think of us. At age 60, we discovered they haven't been thinking of us at all. Ann Landers. It's good to laugh because growing old is no joke. How we nurture the beauty of elderhood is personal. There's no one size fits all. How each of us chooses to fill our time depends on what's important to us and how we want to live our lives. Our search for meaning is subjective. However, we all need to be conscious, have a spirit of acceptance and gratitude, and feel the beauty of elderhood for what it is. Quote, there's a fountain of youth. It is your mind, your talents, the creativity you bring to your life and the lives of people you love. When you learn to tap this source, you will truly have defeated age. Sophia Loren. How will you nurture the beauty of your elderhood? Thank you for listening.
If you like this video, please like us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you.